Hi, everyone. Quantum computing offers revolutionary potential across industries, but it also poses cybersecurity challenges that require international collaboration to manage effectively. Today's podcast is about quantum computing's potential and risks. Stay tuned and stay safe.
All right, get ready to dive into quantum computing. You've sent in some pretty cool articles all about the tech, its potential impact, especially here in Southeast Asia, and some breaking news about the latest breakthroughs.
It's really unbelievable how fast this field is moving, you know? I mean, we're seeing theory turn into real-world applications right before our eyes.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Like, take Volkswagen.
Yeah.
They're using quantum computers right now to optimize traffic in Lisbon.
Wow.
It's a pilot program, but still.
Imagine what that could do for Jakarta traffic.
Cool.
But hold on, before we get too far ahead, let's back up a bit. For anyone who's not familiar, could you break down what quantum computing actually is?
Sure. At its core, it's totally different from the computers we use every day.
Right.
Those rely on bits, which are either a 0 or a 1.
Like on or off?
Exactly. But quantum computers, they use qubits.
Okay.
And these can be 0, 1, or both at the same time. It's this thing called superposition.
So it's like a coin spinning in the air, neither heads nor tails till it lands.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I kind of get it. But why is this both at once thing such a big deal?
It boils down to two crazy principles.
Right.
Superposition, which we talked about, and entanglement. Superposition means qubits explore tons of possibilities all at once, which makes them super powerful.
I can see how that would speed things up.
Then there's entanglement, where two qubits get linked.
Linked?
Yeah, like imagine two of those spinning coins, but their fates are tied together.
Yep.
Anything that happens to one instantly happens to the other, even if they're miles apart.
Whoa.
And that lets quantum computers do calculations in parallel, solving problems in ways regular computers just can't.
So it's not just faster, it's like a whole new way of thinking about problems.
Exactly. And that's what's so revolutionary. The articles you sent in, they highlight the potential across so many industries.
It's really mind-blowing. What are some of the most exciting things you've seen?
One area that's just exploding is healthcare. Quantum computers could change drug discovery completely. They can simulate these complex molecular interactions so we could develop new medicines way faster.
That would be life-changing, especially here in Southeast Asia with diseases like dengue fever.
Absolutely.
It's like sci-fi coming to life. What other areas have caught your attention?
Well, globally, the finance world is going crazy for this stuff. They're experimenting with these quantum algorithms for things like risk assessment and portfolio optimization. Faster, smarter decisions.
Yeah.
And that could impact the entire global economy.
Huge impact, yeah. But speaking of global impact, there's one area where quantum computing gets a little, well, scary.
You mean cybersecurity?
Yeah. This tech, it's like a double-edged sword.
Totally. It could create unbreakable encryption, but it could also shatter the encryption we rely on for everything.
Our bank accounts, online communication, even national security, it's kind of freaky.
You're right. It's a serious issue. Imagine a quantum computer powerful enough to just crack the codes we use for, well, everything online.
So how worried should we be? Is this an immediate threat, or is it way down the line?
The development of these super powerful computers is moving quickly, that's for sure. But most experts believe we still have time.
Time to prepare.
Exactly. It's not an immediate threat, but we can't wait around either.
So what's being done? Are there solutions in the works?
Luckily, yes. There's a big push globally to develop what they're calling post-quantum cryptography.
Post-quantum.
It's basically a whole new type of encryption that's resistant to these attacks, even from super powerful quantum computers. It's a race against time to stay ahead.
A race, huh? And this needs worldwide cooperation.
Absolutely. It's a global effort. Governments, research institutions, companies, everyone needs to work together to make sure the benefits of quantum computing are accessible to all while managing the risks responsibly.
Collaboration, it seems to be a key theme in this whole quantum conversation.
It's not just about the tech itself. It's about how we handle its development and impact as a global community. This tech has the power to reshape our world, and it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it together.
Speaking of reshaping the world, there's been a lot of buzz about Google's new Willow chip. It's being called a game changer. What's the big deal?
Well, it's Google's latest superconducting quantum processor, and the excitement is justified. What makes Willow so special is its breakthrough in error correction, something that has been a major obstacle in this field.
Right. Quantum computers are really sensitive to errors, even tiny ones. How does Willow handle that?
Well, it uses this new architecture and fabrication process that make the qubits much more stable and less prone to errors. Think of it this way. Imagine building a house of
Oh,
cards.
I get it. The more cards you add, the more unstable it gets.
Exactly. But with Willow, it's like using magnets. The bigger the structure, the stronger the connections, the fewer the errors.
So Willow is more like building with Legos. The more you add, the stronger it gets.
That's a great way to put it. This makes Willow far more reliable and scalable than previous quantum chips.
It's pretty amazing. And I read it's incredibly fast, too. One article said it solved a problem in under 5 minutes that would have taken a supercomputer 10 septillion years.
That's right. It's a speed demon for sure.
Mm.
But it's crucial to remember that we're still in the early stages of development. The problems Willow is solving are very specific and experimental, not the kind of things we do on our laptops or phones every day.
So we shouldn't expect quantum-powered smartphones anytime soon.
Not just yet. But Willow's progress does suggest that we are moving toward practical quantum computing much faster than many people expected.
That's really fascinating. Now, I'm curious about what this technology means for Southeast Asia. We've talked about the global impact, but where does this region fit into the quantum landscape?
Southeast Asia is at a very interesting point. It's still early days, but there's a growing awareness of quantum's potential here, especially in places like Singapore and Indonesia.
Yes. In fact, our sources mention that Indonesia just got its first quantum computer, and Singapore is pouring a lot of money into quantum research.
It's true, they're really stepping up. And there's a real chance for Southeast Asia to become a major player in this quantum era. But the key is continued investment in research and development, growing local talent, and forging strong partnerships with international players.
It's exciting to think about how this could change the region's economy, security, and even our daily lives. But with all this focus on global trends, let's bring it back to our listeners for a moment. How might quantum computing directly impact individuals here in Southeast Asia?
That's the million-dollar question. Think about the industries that are most likely to be affected. Healthcare, finance, cybersecurity.
All areas that touch our lives every day.
Exactly. For instance, faster drug discovery could lead to more affordable and accessible healthcare for everyone, and quantum-resistant encryption could protect our data from cyber attacks, which is more important than ever in today's digital world.
So this isn't just about abstract scientific advancements. It's about real benefits for real people.
Absolutely. And it's not just about governments and big companies. It's about you, the listener. You're at the heart of this technological shift. And that brings us to another crucial point. Education.
Education.
As quantum computing becomes more common, understanding the basics will be crucial for everyone, not just scientists and engineers.
So you're saying quantum literacy will be as important as digital literacy is today?
Exactly. Imagine a world where everyone understands the implications of this technology and can make informed decisions about its use. It's about being able to seize the opportunities it presents.
So it's not just about learning about qubits and algorithms.
Right. It's about preparing for a future that will be shaped by quantum computing in ways we can only imagine. And that requires critical thinking, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace new ideas. Those are the qualities that will be most valuable in the quantum era.
So it's about much more than just learning technical skills. It's about being ready for a future we can't even fully predict yet.
Exactly. And that future is coming faster than we think. Just look at the Willow chip.
That's a great point. The Willow chip really does seem like a turning point in this quantum journey.
It's a sign of things to come, and it raises some big questions like what will the world look like when quantum computing becomes truly mainstream?
That's a question I think we're all grappling with. What happens when this technology moves from labs and research papers into our everyday lives?
It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure. But it's a ride we need to be prepared for.
I completely agree, and that's why I'm so glad we're having this conversation today. It's about starting to understand this complex technology, its potential, and its challenges, so we can be active participants in shaping the quantum future.
And that future is full of both opportunities and risks. We need to approach it with a sense of wonder and caution, working together to make sure that quantum computing benefits everyone.
Well said. I think that's a great place to pause for now. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore.
When we come back, Let's dive deeper into the specific challenges and opportunities facing Southeast Asia in the quantum era.
Sounds like a plan. See you in part 2.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about the amazing potential of quantum computing and how it could impact Southeast Asia. Now, let's shift gears a bit and look at some of the potential roadblocks this region might face as we enter this quantum age.
Yeah, it's important to remember that progress isn't always a straight line. There are bound to be some bumps along the way. One concern that jumped out at me from the articles was this idea of a digital divide.
Right. That's a critical point. Not all countries in Southeast Asia are starting from the same place when it comes to technology and infrastructure.
Some are further ahead than others.
Exactly. You've got countries like Singapore that are investing heavily in quantum research and development, but others might struggle to keep up, and that could lead to unequal access to the benefits of this tech.
It's like a race where not everyone has a fair start.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good way to put it.
And our sources mention that the global quantum computing market is expected to be worth trillions of dollars in the next few years.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's crucial that Southeast Asia doesn't get left behind in this economic boom.
Absolutely. We need to be really careful that quantum computing doesn't make existing inequalities worse, both within and between countries. Governments and policymakers need to make sure everyone has a chance to benefit from this game-changing technology.
So how do we bridge that divide? What can be done to ensure everyone benefits from this quantum leap?
Well, it all starts with education and workforce development. We need to give future generations the skills and knowledge to thrive in this quantum-driven world.
That means.
Investing in STEM education at all levels, from primary school to university,
Got it.
and encouraging lifelong learning.
Okay, so it's about creating a culture where learning never stops, especially in these rapidly changing fields.
Exactly. One of the articles even highlighted the global shortage of quantum experts. Just imagine the demand in a few years when quantum computing is even more widespread.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, and we need to be ready.
Absolutely. And it's not just about technical skills, it's also about developing critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability, the qualities that will be most valuable in this rapidly evolving technological landscape.
So we're preparing students not just for jobs that exist today, but for jobs that haven't even been invented yet.
Precisely. And that's where education comes in. Quantum literacy needs to be a core part of learning so people can understand this technology, ask the right questions, and be part of the conversation.
It makes sense. We can't just be passive consumers of this technology. We need to be active participants in shaping its future.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked about education, but what about the infrastructure needed to support quantum computing here in Southeast Asia? These aren't your average computers that you can just plug in anywhere.
You're absolutely right. This tech needs specialized hardware, software, and a whole network of experts. We need to invest in quantum research centers, labs, and testing facilities. Basically, we need to create a whole ecosystem where quantum startups and businesses can thrive.
And speaking of ecosystems, one of our sources mentioned that Singapore is taking a lead in this area, launching a national quantum strategy and partnering with major players on the global stage.
Singapore is definitely setting a good example. They're showing that Southeast Asia can be a global hub for quantum research and development. Their commitment to building a quantum ecosystem could pave the way for other countries in the region to follow suit.
It's a really encouraging sign, but it can't just be one country going it alone, right?
Exactly. Regional collaboration is key. Countries in Southeast Asia can pool their resources, share their knowledge and expertise, and learn from each other's best practices.
Like a team effort.
Exactly. They can work together to overcome common challenges and develop solutions that are tailored to the specific needs of this region.
Wow.
Imagine if Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam all joined forces with Singapore to create this regional quantum powerhouse.
Now that's a powerful vision. But let's not forget about the risks, too. Cybersecurity in particular seems like a big concern with quantum computing.
It's a valid concern. As these quantum computers get more advanced, they could potentially crack the encryption that keeps our digital world secure. This could affect everything from online banking and financial transactions to critical infrastructure and national security.
It sounds like something straight out of a spy movie. Quantum computers being used to hack into top-secret information. Are we headed for some kind of digital doomsday scenario?
Let's not get too carried away. While the threat is real, there's also a global effort to develop what's called post-quantum cryptography.
Post-quantum cryptography.
It's basically new encryption methods that are specifically designed to resist attacks from even the most powerful quantum computers. It's a race, for sure, but cybersecurity experts are working hard to stay one step ahead.
It's reassuring to know that people are already working on solutions to these potential threats. So it's not just about building these super powerful computers, it's about building safeguards to make sure they're used responsibly. What are some specific things that countries in Southeast Asia can do to prepare for the cybersecurity challenges of the quantum era?
I think awareness is the first step. Governments, businesses, and individuals need to understand the risks involved and take cybersecurity seriously. It's about educating people about the changing threat landscape and empowering them to make smart choices about their own digital security.
So it's back to education again. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to new and emerging threats.
Exactly.
Are there any practical things that companies can do right now to improve their cybersecurity?
Absolutely. They can start by looking at their current systems, identifying any weak points, and exploring quantum-safe encryption methods. They also need to have a plan for transitioning to these new systems. Being proactive is essential.
It sounds like a multi-pronged approach is needed, involving new technology, policies and regulations, and raising awareness among individuals. What role do governments play in all of this?
Governments play a critical role. They need to create the frameworks and standards for quantum-safe cybersecurity and invest in research and development. International collaboration is also key. We need to share knowledge, best practices, and resources. It's a global challenge that requires a global response.
So we're all in this together, essentially.
Precisely. We need a coordinated effort to address the cybersecurity challenges that come with quantum computing. But amidst all this talk of risks and challenges, let's not forget about the incredible opportunities that this technology offers, especially for Southeast Asia.
That's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in the potential downsides and forget about the amazing potential benefits. What are some of the most exciting applications that could really make a difference here in Southeast Asia?
Well, think about the areas where Southeast Asia faces unique challenges. Things like healthcare, climate change, urban planning. Quantum computing could completely transform how we approach these issues.
That's what I'm interested in hearing more about. Give me some real-world examples of how this technology could be applied.
Let's start with healthcare. Imagine using quantum computers to speed up the development of new drugs and therapies for diseases that are common in Southeast Asia, like dengue fever and malaria.
That would be a huge breakthrough for public health in the region. Are there any other healthcare applications that stand out?
Definitely. Quantum-powered AI could revolutionize personalized medicine, allowing us to create treatments that are tailored to an individual's genetic makeup. We're talking about maximizing the effectiveness of treatments and minimizing side effects.
That's incredible. It's like the healthcare of the future, where treatments are as unique as the people they're designed to help. What about climate change? How can quantum computing help us tackle this global crisis, especially in a region as vulnerable as Southeast Asia?
Quantum computers could help us create much more accurate climate models, which are crucial for understanding the complex factors driving climate change, predicting future impacts, and coming up with strategies to mitigate those impacts. This is especially important for Southeast Asia, which is already feeling the effects of climate change, with rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and threats to biodiversity.
Accurate climate modeling could really help Southeast Asia prepare for those challenges and protect vulnerable communities.
Exactly. And let's not forget about urban planning. Cities in Southeast Asia are growing incredibly fast. We need innovative solutions to manage traffic congestion, improve public transportation, and make our cities more sustainable. Quantum computing could play a big role in making that happen.
It's amazing to think about how this technology could be used to solve these real-world problems that are affecting people's lives right now. It's not just about scientific advancements. It's about using those advancements to improve people's lives, create economic opportunities, and build a better future for Southeast Asia.
That's the key takeaway from our discussion today. Quantum computing isn't just some futuristic concept. It's a real force with the potential to transform Southeast Asia in profound ways.
It's both exciting and a little overwhelming to think about how much impact it could have. So where do we even begin?
It all starts with awareness. We need to understand the potential of quantum computing, both the good and the bad. Then we need to focus on education. Give people the knowledge and skills they need to thrive in this new quantum era. And finally, we need to work together. Governments, businesses, researchers, everyone needs to collaborate to make sure Southeast Asia is ready for the quantum revolution.
It's a collective journey, and it's just beginning. And even though there might be challenges along the way, the potential rewards are too big to ignore.
I couldn't agree more. This is a time of enormous opportunity, and by working together, we can make sure that quantum computing benefits everyone in Southeast Asia and beyond. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's zoom in on one particular development that's really pushing things forward. Google's new Willow chip.
Okay, let's dig into the details of this game changer. I'm ready to hear more. We'll be back after the break for part 3. And we're back, ready to unpack Google's Willow chip. It's being hailed as a major breakthrough, and honestly, I'm pretty excited to learn more about it.
The excitement's understandable. It's Google's latest quantum processor, a superconducting one, and what's got everyone buzzing is its error correction. That's been a huge hurdle in quantum computing.
Yeah, we talked about how sensitive these quantum computers are to errors. Even the tiniest things can throw them off. How does Willow deal with that?
Well, it uses a completely new architecture, and the way it's made, it makes the qubits much more stable, less likely to have errors. Think of it like, remember the house of cards analogy?
Yeah, the more cards you add, the wobblier it gets.
Right. But with Willow, it's like they're using magnets. The bigger you build, the stronger those connections get, so fewer errors.
So Willow is more like building with Legos. Adding more makes it stronger. That's a much better building method. And I read that it's crazy fast, too. Like, one article said it solved the problem in 5 minutes that would take a regular supercomputer 10 septillion years.
Yeah, it's definitely a speed demon. But we got to remember, we're still early in the game here. What Willow's doing, those are very specific problems, experimental stuff, not what we do on our laptops every day.
So no quantum-powered smartphones just yet.
Not quite. But the progress with Willow, it tells us we're moving towards practical quantum computing way faster than people thought.
That's pretty amazing. Now, what about applications here in Southeast Asia? What are some real-world uses that could benefit this region specifically?
The possibilities are huge, especially for some of the unique challenges Southeast Asia faces.
Oh.
Think about healthcare, for example.
Healthcare, yeah.
Imagine using quantum computers to develop new drugs and vaccines way faster for diseases like dengue fever, malaria, things that hit this region hard.
That would be a game changer for public health. It's mind-blowing that quantum computers could help us solve some of the biggest health problems in Southeast Asia.
It really is. And it's not just about new treatments. There's also quantum-enhanced AI, which could totally revolutionize personalized medicine.
Okay, what does that mean?
Like treatments tailored to your specific genes, maximizing effectiveness, minimizing side effects. That's the kind of precision we're talking about.
Wow, that's the healthcare of the future.
Yeah.
Using technology to create treatments that are as unique as the people who need them.
Exactly. And let's not forget climate change. Quantum computers could help us build much more accurate climate models.
And why is that so important?
Well, we're crucial for understanding the complex factors that drive climate change, predicting what's coming and figuring out how to deal with it. And this is especially vital for Southeast Asia, which is already on the front lines of climate change, with rising sea levels, extreme weather, threats to biodiversity.
Having more accurate climate models could help Southeast Asia prepare for those challenges and protect vulnerable communities.
Absolutely. And then there's urban planning. Southeast Asian cities are booming, growing so fast.
Yeah.
We need smart solutions for things like traffic, public transport, making cities more sustainable. Quantum computing could be a huge help there.
It's amazing to think about how this technology can tackle these real-world problems that affect people's lives every day. It's not just about science in the lab. It's about using that science to make things better for people, to create opportunities, and to build a better future for Southeast Asia.
That's exactly it. Quantum computing isn't just some far-off idea. It's a real force that could transform Southeast Asia in amazing ways.
It's exciting, but a little daunting too, to grasp just how big of an impact it could have.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's an incredible time to be alive, witnessing this technological revolution unfold. And with the progress we're seeing, who knows what amazing discoveries are just around the corner.
That's true. The future of quantum computing is full of possibilities, both exciting and maybe a little scary too.
For sure. But as we move forward, we need to remember to use this technology responsibly, ethically, always with the well-being of humanity in mind.
Absolutely. Well, this deep dive has been a fascinating journey into the world of quantum computing. We've explored its revolutionary potential, the challenges it presents, and the incredible opportunities it offers, especially for Southeast Asia.
It's a field that never stands still, always pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It's a reminder that we live in an era of incredible technological change. And while there's a lot to learn and many challenges to overcome, the future of quantum computing is incredibly promising. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the quantum realm. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities, because the future, it's quantum and it's waiting for us.